Hello guys, this is Ark, and in this video we're gonna do Worlds 2023 Pick'ems. It's always a fun process. Um, I'm excited. I'm always excited this time of year. Worlds is coming up. You get to see all the best teams, and you can even make predictions on that. So let's begin. So where do we go here? I think we. Okay, this is general, right? Yeah. Okay. Um, let's start. There are four categories, right? Teams, players, champions, and event. Um, which one should we start with? Let's go from the beginning. So, how many reverse sweeps will be there at Worlds out of nine total best of five? So, there is the one best of five in finals. There are another two in semis, another four in quarters, right? And then there is a best of five between Golden Guardians and BDS, right? Does that count? Maybe, right? Um, and what's the other one? Wait, does that even count? I don't even know. But Swiss stage is all best of ones and best of threes. I think there are two more best of fives in the playing stage. The last qualifying game, right? Um, so yeah, I think the GG versus BDS does not count. Regardless, how many reverse sweeps will there be, right? It's always a tough one to predict. Like one team has to go 2-0 and then lose three games in a row. Generally, that's very hard to do. If like one team is generally better, if that team goes up 2-0, then it might go 2-1, but then a reverse sweep is hard. I'm thinking that one of them will happen. Like there will be some spicy quarterfinals, best of five between two even teams. Maybe not like the top tier. Maybe some sort of I don't know, like Damwon versus um, I don't know, Weibo Gaming, for example, and we might see a reverse sweep there. So I'm just gonna say there will be one of them. I was between either zero or one, but I'm just gonna say one. And what will be the duration of the longest single game at Worlds? Um, there are always games, especially um, in the playing stage between the less good teams, um, which can go like 50 minutes. I do not think we will see 55 plus, um, and I do not think that all games will be below 45 minutes. So um, I think it's either between those two. Like for sure, there are like a lot of games to be played. Like people do not really realize how many games will be played, right? Um, but because of the big amount of games that will be played, there definitely going to be at least one game that goes beyond 45 minutes. 55 minutes, I think there has to be an extremely clown fiesta, like trolling type of game uh, for uh, for League to go past 55 minutes in 2023. So I'm thinking at least one game will go beyond 50 minutes. I think the most likely will be this, but I'm confident that there will be some sort of like fiesta game that will go beyond 50 minutes. So I'm gonna go with this. And how many pentakills? This is a hard one. Um, how many pentakills will be there at Worlds? So um, this year there have been quite a lot of pentakills, I think, all over the world. I remember Pace getting like three of them, and then I think even like Ruler got some. I think I think Ruler got one in his debut in the LPL now. So I think there will be at least one pentakill. The thing is, we have to understand that most pentakills will be coming from AD carries, right? And depending on the AD carry meta, sometimes it's more or less likely that a pentakill can happen. For example, if Zeri is in the meta, then Zeri is one of the champions that can go for a pentakill, right? We've seen like a lot of Zeri pentakills over the years. Um, on the other hand, or like a Jinx, maybe a Felius in some cases. But if there is like some sort of, like Ashe and like Caitlyn or Ezreal, etc., like those champions are less likely to score a pentakill because, no mobility, harder to like chase down the last kill, for example. Um, I'm thinking that Zeri might be one of the champions that will be played, but not in the forefront. As I said in another video, I'm thinking that Zaya, Kaisa, and maybe I don't know, Ezreal will be the main AD carries, which means that those are not the most um, popular champions to get a pentakill. So I think there will be at least one pentakill. I mean, pace exists, and it has been shown that Gen Z, drafts around mid, drafts around top or jungle, occasionally also drafts around pace, and because of that, pace gets resources. Chovy might even play some sort of like tanky mid laner. So the potential for a pentakill by Gen G is high. I think it's the highest of any team at Worlds. Maybe Gala and Ruler as well. So I think there will be at least one pentakill at Worlds. I'm not sure if there will be like another role that will score a pentakill, like a mid laner. I do not see how, the mid laners can do a pentakill unless there is some sort of giga strong, like a Kali, Montage 1v5. Um, Top laners, maybe. Like I can see maybe like in a carry meta, maybe a top laner can score some sort of like sick pentakill with like a Fiora or like Gangplank or Camille maybe, I don't know. But obviously most likely it's marksman. I think we will see two pentakills at Worlds. Which Drake will be killed the most at Worlds? So I don't want to go deep into this. People think, oh, it's Drake's, right? It's equal chance for everything. So, you know, But the thing about drakes is that even though they spawn they have the same chance for each one to spawn, how many you kill actually differs because different champions, different dragons are stronger or weaker and are prioritized by teams more often or less often, which means that there are cases where a team, because a dragon is good or bad, a single team will go 4-0 on drakes, right? So there will not be as many drakes being killed. Or if like one team gets the first two drakes, but the soul is good, then the enemy team will try to contest, which means that there is a possibility for that dragon to be killed more in the game because it's a better dragon. Um, so technically, there is like um, a big logic behind um, the evenish probability because again, like every dragon has a 16.6% chance to show up, right? But it doesn't mean that how many dragons will be killed is based on that probability. There are so many other things that you have to consider, which obviously I'm not going to go into this in detail. I just want to point this out. Um, I'd like to think that the most the strongest soul is the one that will be killed the most because it will be the most contested. But because it's not like a very big sample, like if let's say Hextech is the strongest soul, right? The sample of games being played is not that big to kind of like even this out because there might be like 5 Cloud souls and like 3 Hextech souls, and this means that the Cloud will be more killed. But the general idea, I think, is this: the strongest soul is the one that will be killed, that will guarantee the most Drake kills. So we're gonna go with Hextech Drake. And how many Baron steals? Oh my God, this is so hard. I mean, last year we had like three Baron steals in like one game or something, or one series, right? Um, so think about this. In order for somebody to steal a Baron, like how many times, like how, when do you start Baron? Like there are two cases. One is you try to rush it down before the enemy realizes you're doing it, right? And that is a more like cheesy tactic. Um, and in those cases, if you get figured out, you might like get off the Baron, right? And then the other case is when you fight around Baron and like you get a pick, for example, and then you go do Baron. And in that case, the chance of a steal is almost zero, right? So in the cases where teams try to sneak a Baron, those are the cases where a steal is most likely to happen. And like I want to go to like 6 to 8. I think 0 to 2, like no Baron steals or 1 or 2 is like very low because the, like there are so many variables to consider, but I think it's quite likely that a Baron steal will happen. I mean, you can have like even two Baron steals in one game, right? So there are like how many games? Like 70, 80 games that are going to be played. Um, think about this. There are nine best of fives, so that's like a minimum of 27 games there, and a maximum of 45. And there are in the Swiss stage, there are like 8 plus 8 plus there's like some other best of threes, I think. So I think that there's like a minimum of like 70 to 80 games to be played. And if there is like a Baron steal, like one Baron steal every 10 games, you should be around here in this range, either 6 to 8 or 9 plus. So I'm gonna go with 6 to 8. So champions, who will play in the most different roles at Worlds? Oh my God, this is okay. This is gonna be a hard one. I'm gonna do this later on. Who will be pick the most during Champion Select at Worlds? So this is no bans. This is just picks. This is the bans. Um, hmm. Oh man, this is hard. Most picked champions at Worlds in Champ Select. So obviously this is the champion that will appear on Summoner's Rift the most. I'm thinking one of the champions will be, I think Lee Sin will be a high priority pick, even as a pick or a ban. I do not think that it will be ban worthy because they only buffed his like his sustain and his jungle clear. Um, and I do not think this is enough to warrant a ban, but I think it will be a very high pick rate pick. So I'm thinking that it might be Lee Sin actually. I'm gonna go with Lee Sin, even though it's a very hard thing um, to predict. Like there are like AD carry. The thing is, in order to try to get to have the best possibilities and the best chances to win at this, you need to actually think a lot about this. Like think of all the variables, and I think that support it will not be a support champion because there are a lot of different supports like tank supports, engage supports, things like Braum and protective supports, enchanters, etc. There are a lot of different champions that, especially for engaged ones like Rel, Alistar, Nautilus, Leona, etc. Yeah, right? Where there is no way that there is only a single one of them being picked a lot, so it cannot be support. I'm thinking that AD carry will be one of the options because AD carries have usually been, three or four main picks, and then everything else is subpar. So, for example, like Zaya, I think Zaya will be one of the most contested AD carries, potentially even most banned. So this is a problem here. Like you have the most picked one and the most banned one, um, and you need to try and figure out which champion will be popular and which champion will be very strong that will be probably permanently banned, and which champion will be quite strong but not strong enough to be banned but be picked. Um, I think here I kind of want to put Gangplank here, but this is a problem because these champions are so feast or famine, right? Not in the game, but on the hype they have, because Gangplank is supposedly strong right now and would probably be one of the most picked champions. But if Gangplank is picked early in the tournament and you know like teams lose with it and it's dropped off completely, then you're pretty much lost. So we do not know if Gangplank will actually be as strong as we think it will be, thus making this choice of Gangplank be, a bit risky. I do not think Gangplank will be permaban status. I think it will be allowed. Um, what else is strong? Like, um, is there a champion right now that you would say, oh, this champion needs to be permabanned? I think maybe Maokai will be one of them, specifically against teams like Genji with Peanut. Um, you know, famous for picking Maokai a lot. Um, I'm not sure which champions are very strong right now. Let's see. Let's try to figure this out. Hmm. If there was a poll where it said highest pick or ban, so highest presence, I would either go with Gangplank or Lee Sin, but you know what? I'm taking too long on this. I'm gonna do most picked Lee Sin because I cannot see a world where Lee Sin will be banned in 2023. And with this most picked and most banned, I'm just gonna go with Gangplank, and whatever happens, happens. Who will have the most total deaths at Worlds? Oh my god, what? Um, it's probably gonna be some sort of um, engage support that does not have like good um, like goes in but doesn't really go out. So I'm thinking somebody like Nautilus. Mm, because some Alistars take phase rush, so maybe they go in and they can go out, and they also have their ultimate to, sustain themselves or reduce the damage they take actually. But like Nautilus just goes in, gets a seal from W, which is not that big, especially in the early game, and doesn't really have a way out unless he can find another Q. Rel is kind of the same, but Rel gets quite tanky. Same for Alistar, Leona as well. So I'm gonna go with Nautilus. I cannot remember what the pick was last year. Um, but yeah, but you also have to pick a champion that you think will be played a lot as well. So more games means more chances for it to fail. Um, so I think Nautilus will be quite a popular pick at Worlds, so that's why I picked this champion. Who will have the highest win rate at Worlds? Well, these are so weird to predict. Highest win rate, huh? I think I think the highest win rate will be a champion that slots in as a counter pick. It needs to have at least 5 games played. So it has to be some sort of like counter pick um, that will not be banned. So for example, if Gangplank gets picked, what is a good counter to GP? I don't know, like Silas maybe top, or I don't know. I think Lee Sin will be picked a lot, and there's no way it will have the highest win rate, even if it will be strong. Um, I'm thinking, um, I'm thinking Gwen will be having a good win rate actually. Gwen maybe, like first of all, you need to realize which of these champions will be played at least 5 times. So, for example, like Master Yi and Milia, Morgana, Mordekaiser will never be played 5 times, right? Um, hmm. And also, champions that will be played a lot, like popular picks like Rakan and Nautilus and Gangplank, etc. They will not be having a high win rate because all those champions, because they get played a lot of times, uh, they go from like 45 to like 55% win rate, or like lower than 55 for sure. And I think there will be a champion that will be having like 60% win rate as a counter pick. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go with like Gwen for this one. And which champion will be played in the most different roles? So okay, this is a hard one. So I'm thinking that it cannot be an engaged support like Alistar, Rakan, etc. because they are only get played as support. Um, Tristana is a pick that gets played in mid and AD carry, like mid as the main role, AD carry sometimes as well. If you want to flex the champion, but you can also see it at top lane. So one of my choices is Tristana, right? Then another choice is Akali can go top or mid. The thing is, I think there will be at least there will be champions that will be going into at least two different roles. Um, so I think we have to find champions that will go to three roles instead. So Tristana is one of them. Um, no, Galio might go like mid or support in some cases. Um, Talia like jungle mid maybe. Um, I cannot really see a champion that goes in three roles. Maybe wait, didn't like Maokai get played in support, jungle, and top? Or was it like some sort of like a Mumu or something? Uh, okay, let's go one by one. I don't know. So Aatrox, no, Ahri, no. Like Aatrox top, mid top, mid top, support, jungle support, but will not be picked. Mid support, AD support, mid, sub, jungle, sub, AD, top jungle, maybe? Nah, no way. Camille jungle is dead, right? Nope, nope. Echo, I cannot see Echo being played. Mm, Galio, maybe mid support. Gragas Gragas could be one of them actually. If he's in a good spot, he could go mid, jungle, or top. So far we have Tristana and Gragas, right? Graves could be going top at some point. No, no, no. Hmm. Irelia top or mid. Jace top or mid. Kisante top or mid. I think the X factor here are junglers that can go in lanes. Um, Karma top I mean Karma mid or support, but we can see it at top. Kane, Kale, Cat, Cannon, Kha'Zix, Kindred, like Lee Sin. We can potentially see Lee Sin like jungle top and mid. Mid not as likely as top, but there is a chance actually. Um, I don't think Maokai will go anywhere else apart from jungle. Um, hmm. Nico mid jungle support maybe. Hmm. Poppy top, Poppy jungle, Poppy support. I don't think Pantheon will be played, but I mean with all the globals, I can see Pantheon being like top mid and support, even jungle actually. Um, and this is so hard actually. Like, it's so hard to predict these things. Senna, nah. Um, Silas jungle? No, I think he cannot really clear the jungle at the moment. Uh, hmm. I think it's either like Tristana or what did we say up here? Gragas? Gragas Tristana. I'm gonna go with Gragas. I will probably change it later on. I don't know. All right, who will be the most different? Wait, who will play the most different champions at Worlds? Hmm. So the logic here is you need a player who has a big champion pool, but also a player who will play a lot of games as well, right? Um, so champion pool at the moment, I think Chovy is a more versatile player. Um, Support players generally play the same 4 to 5 picks. Top laners are like, oh, pick GP and the counter to GP. So I think at most like 4 to 5 champions. Um, Junglers, AD carries are also quite quite gated. I think junglers and mid laners are the most flexible. You know, jungle you have players who will play Lee Sin, Nidalee, um, Nocturne, Kha'Zix, maybe Elise, maybe Wukong. What are the champions? Maokai, Sejuani. Like there are a lot of jungle diversity at the moment, and you know people who will play all of those champions. So I think it will be the jungle role that has the most diversity at the moment. But the junglers themselves, how willing are they to pick something that they're not as comfortable on? Because if let's say Peanut is comfortable on like Maokai and Poppy, right? Why would he ever like pick something else? You know, unless these picks are banned, right? So why would you pick something else if you're comfortable on those champions, despite the fact that the jungle pool is quite flexible right now? So I'm thinking like mid lane, we can see a lot of different picks, and I think Chovy is the one who will play those different picks. But again, how many games will Genji play, right? Like, will Chovy and Genji play a lot of games so that there will be a chance for Chovy to pick like multiple different champions? We do not know that. Um, I think Faker will play a limited amount of champions. Same for Showmaker. I don't know about Knight, and I don't know about BDD. I think BDD will also play like a few champions, but not a lot. I'm just gonna go with Chovy. Uh, where is Genji? There we are. I'm gonna go with Chovy. Who will get the most kills in a single game of the course? I kind of want to go with either Ruler or Pace here. I think Pace will pop off. Like Pace has had some phenomenal performances, getting like 14 kills in finals. So I think I'm gonna go with Pace here. Where's Pace? There we go. Who will have the highest KDA at Worlds? Who will get the most first bloods and who will get at least one pentakill? So I think Pace here as well. Um, Highest KDA, huh? I think. Um, okay, so for KDA, for you to have a high KDA, you need a team that does not die a lot, plays like slower pace, does not die a lot, wins the games that they play. Um, so I'm thinking that it cannot be a support, it cannot be a top laner either. I think it has to be like either a mid laner or an AD carry. Um, Chovy is famous for having like a high KDA in general, but I think Pace is is one of those AD carries that plays quite safe. I think a Ruler also plays quite safe as well, but there are some cases where he might just greed for a kill and go 1 for 1, for example, go for the limit test. Also, the LPL playstyle is more chaotic, more kills, more deaths in general, so this can hurt you quite a lot. So I think I'm gonna go with Pace for highest KDA because I think in Swiss stage against weaker teams, I think Pace will be dropping a lot of kills, but will not be having a lot of deaths, if any at all. So I'm thinking Pace here. And most first bloods. Most first bloods. This is a very hard thing to do because you have to figure out which team has a strong early game to get off ganks, but then you also need to understand like it probably has to be the jungler because the jungler is the one who is involved into most of the kills in the early game. Um, I think Peanut does not play a lot of carry jungler, so it's likely that he will not be getting all the resources. Um, Maybe Kanavi or Canyon, maybe. I think Canyon with Lee Sin, I think can do it. I'm gonna go with Canyon. I was between Canyon and Kanavi actually. But yeah, all of these are like so hard to predict. Like there might be some players that you're like missing completely. Um, anyway, teams. Which team from a region with 2 seeds or less will advance the furthest through Worlds? So which of these teams will advance the furthest? So I'm thinking Loud and Movistar, DFM, and Team Wales will not really make it. So I'm thinking either Flying Oyster, PSG Talon, or Gambit. I think in PSG Talon actually. Which team will win the shortest game duration at Worlds? Uh, hmm. That's a hard one. I do not think it's Gen G because Gen G always like to play it safe, slow and steady. Even if they're like 8k gold ahead, like 15 minutes, they will go to 25 minutes. So I do not think will be Gen G. Um, JDG, I think they're kind of the same. Um, hmm. I think KT could be one of the teams. I think KT usually goes for the more chaotic, go in play style with like the hands, etc. So I could see KT's like hard smurfing one game. Maybe I could even see like Maker and Canyon, like Canyon picking Lee Sin or Nidalee, hard smurfing the early game, and you know Damwon getting a victory early on, despite Damwon not being very strong at the moment. Hmm, I don't know. What about Bilibili Gaming or LNG? Hmm, that's a hard one. T1? No, T1 generally goes for the late game, like late game drafts, and I cannot see T1 going for this. I'm gonna go with Damwon Gaming because, or D plus Kia, whatever. Which team will have the most Baron steals? Or will go with T1 lol. Wait, does this mean that they steal Baron, right? Not have their Baron stolen. So yeah, Baron steals. I don't know, out of respect for T1 last year, I'm gonna go with T1. Which team will win Worlds and which team will play the most different champions at Worlds? So which team will win Worlds? My heart says Gen G, so here we go. My heart and my brain actually says Gen G. I think if Gen G is at full power, and I think they will be, I think Gen G will win Worlds. So. And which team will play the most different champions at Worlds? So we need a team that will play a lot of games. So most likely a team that reaches finals. And then we need um, a team with big uh, champion pool diversity. We already selected Chovy as a player with the most played champions, and Genji is one of the favorites to go all the way. So I have to say Genji here, right? Yeah, yeah. Let's go with this. It says make my what? It is not advance. Pick the teams you think will reach Swiss stage. Winner of Worlds qualifying series, Golden Gun will advance to planes. All right, so two teams, two of those teams here that will advance to the Swiss stage. So it's the 8 teams. There are 9 teams here, but 8 of them will be in the plane stage. So I think Golden Guardians will advance over BDS. I think PSG makes it out, and I think Golden Guardians also make it out. Yep. Okay. Wait, how many are there? Wait, Crystal Ball is this one, right? Okay, we did this. So if we go here, plane stage. Okay, yeah. All right. So I think Golden Guardians and PSG will advance to the Swiss stage. If anything, I have PSG as the team that will advance the most out of the wildcard regions. So Swiss stage. Yeah, we do not have Swiss stage yet. Okay. And Yeah, there's nobody here yet. All right. So this is my pick'ems. One reverse sweep in the best of fives, etc. So take a last look at this. Pause if you want to, and yeah, these are my pick'ems. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time with some more Worlds 2023 news.